By the way, do you remember when you flying down from Vancouver to have breakfast with me?
Yeah, I'm going to tell that story right now. It's going to start with that right there. Oh, it'll be a good story. Oh, time flies. Time flies. Well, today we don't just have one boss in the Bentley, we have two bosses in the Bentley. I have my mentor, I'm very honored, Mr. Dan Peña, the $50 billion man, with me in the car. I've been waiting for this for a long time, Dan.
And I've been waiting as well.
We were just talking about back then, I think it must be over 10 years, 12 years ago.
No, it was 2003.
Oh, wow, 2003. So, for those who don't know, I actually contacted Dan, the castle back then, and I asked him to even mentor me. And Big Dan said no, by the way. He said no, but he was gracious enough to meet with me at Los Angeles. I flew in there. Actually, we had breakfast, and
Correct.
I remember you coming down the escalator, and I was in my oversized suit and spiky hair with my glasses, the doofus kid.
No red suit then.
No red suit back then. Just a cheap suit. But Mr. Peña spent almost like a few hours with me during the breakfast and asked me a lot of questions. And I'm forever grateful.
And at that breakfast, you gave me this.
That's right. That's the frog.
The frog on a stone.
Yes.
And I've kept it ever since. And it's on my desk and has been on my desk for 15 years now.
I appreciate it. And that's because from QLA, what we learned is that kids a lot of frogs.
Correct.
To find the prince. Now, back then, I remember when I went to the castle, shortly after
Correct.
that, yeah, maybe less than a year. And the first time I went to the castle, it was actually very uncomfortable for me because we always talk about comfort, about success. And I went there, I was living in a one-bedroom apartment with my mom. Now I flew to Scotland, living in this castle, right? And for 7 days, I was actually staying in a cottage. So with my own bedroom, bathroom, and I see the antiques and everything. It's everything. It's a wealth traders, right? Talk to us a little bit about comfort.
Well, one of the primary reasons that most of the kids, and I call you all kids because I'm either old enough to be your father or grandfather, all the kids have trouble succeeding, it's because they can't succeed beyond their highest expectation. And their highest expectation has been formed by the then role models, which are their parents. And their parents normally don't have high expectations. The only expectation they have, which is a good one, is they want their kids to have it better than they do. But if they are just one level above poverty, and so then their kids are maybe 2 levels above poverty, I mean, that's not that much of an expectation. So it's about pushing the comfort zone out, and because we never exceed our wildest expectation. So when kids come to me and say they want to be a millionaire, I assure them, unless they want to be a multimillionaire or a billionaire, they're never going to exceed $1 million.
And when I went to the castle, I think the first couple of days I was extremely uncomfortable. But after, I think the third and fourth day, I was like, this is nice. This is nice. Drinking from the crystal glass and the breakfast and everything. I'm like, I could get used to this. I think that expanded my comfort. A lot of people ask me the question about, what's the biggest thing I got out of the castle? I could give them a 10-page, here's different things I've learned. But I think the biggest thing is the comfort, where it's possible that I'm in this environment, right?
And now, at that time, I think we only had one ex-staff from the Queen of England staff. Now we have a few. We have 2 butlers that used to be with the Queen.
It's even better.
Yeah, and as they're serving drinks. But the whole idea is possible because I come from the barrio, former barrio bad boy from East LA, got in a lot of trouble, and was poor. And of course, my quantum leap is significant, just as yours is. But most of the kids can't realize that. And a lot of the kids that come think they were poor. But as Sally, my wife, would say, they lived in the lap of luxury compared to where we came from.
That's right. And over the years, a lot of different students and mentees have gone through QLA, they've gone to the castle. What do you think is the difference between someone who made it big actually apply what you teach versus the ones who go to the castle but then they don't fucking implement.
Well, the biggest thing is their desire. A lot of people pretend that they want to be successful until they figure out what the pay price to action is. How much am I willing to sacrifice? How much time am I willing to put in a week? How much time am I willing to be, unfortunately, away from my family? How much time am I willing to, make those cold calls? And most people grossly underestimate it. One of the things I've said since before I met you, you can never underestimate how wrong you can be.
Yes.
And the amount of sacrifice and focus and devotion to success is a big deal, and most people just don't have it.
And I thought before QLA, I thought, I was working hard. No, I wasn't working hard at all. Like you said, I think at the castle, you said, you fucking kids can't even spell high performance, right? You don't even know what that is like.
Correct.
And I remember there was one night, I think I walked by, I think the third or fourth night, and I walked by, and you've been teaching like long days, right? Long days from morning till like, sometimes we don't wrap up like 6, 7 p.m., right? I think the third or fourth night I walked by your office and I was like, Mr. Peña, you're still working? I remember you told me, hey, your kids are all fucking rich, filthy stinking rich. I gotta make a living. Right. And then you went back to work.